names are Vincent Atitwa. I'm the chairperson of Matungu Community Development Charity, a community-based organization working here in Kakamega County, along with the farmers, training them in the best farming practices in relation to food security and nutrition. We're implementing a project funded by Global Green Grant Fund, which is targeting to train farmers in best farming practices, whereby we want to ensure that they conserve our environment, biodiversity and water sources. Thank you very much.
The western region of Kenya is the breadbasket of the country, playing a significant role in national food security. The total population of the 4 main counties of interest for this project, with reference to the Kenya National Census of 2009, is 4.6 million people. The purpose of this climate-smart, sustainable agriculture project by the Matungu Community Development Charity program is to promote support for agriculture with attention to farming communities and to environmental sustainability. The Kenyan public administration system, with county governments and specialized national government agencies and parastatal organizations, as well as many private companies, non-state actors, or the formerly known as non-governmental organizations, and last but not least, farmers associations will all benefit from this project as they strive for sustainable strengthening of agriculture. The Matungu Community Development Charity, MCDC, hereby recognizes that landscapes for people, food and nature initiatives seeks to address and support the effective widespread practice of eco-agriculture, which is an approach to rural landscape management that seeks to integrate food production, biodiversity, and ecosystem conservation, rural livelihoods within supportive institutions, and policy contexts. Future solutions to climate change, environmental degradation, and rising food demand are likely to require integrated landscape approaches even more than in the past. This initiative will help address these pressing challenges by reviewing past experience, articulating the evidence base for integrated landscape approaches, sharing knowledge and ideas to foster collaboration, and advancing action agendas that are compelling to and helps advance the goals of farmers, conservationists, and the broader global community, thanks to the continued support from the Global Green Grant Funds initiative. At the Omari Nicholas farm, which is called Marakalu Farm, Leonard Lihotio shows practical advice to the farmers about biodiversity and usefulness of birds as agents of seed dispersion. He reiterates that some seeds have a hard epicote that once passed through the bird's gut or alimentary canal is digested, leaving the given seed's endogerm for easy germination. Nicholas Omari himself demonstrated to the participants the importance of agroforestry such as calandra, that calandra possesses the unique nitrogen-fixing bacteria called azotobacter, which forms nodules on the roots of calandra tree. That the same calandra tree is rich in proteins for dairy animals. He, however, cautioned farmers to first sun-dry the picked calandra tree leaves so as to avoid excessive acidic content of the freshly picked caliandra leaves. He explained that if the freshly picked leaves are ingested by dairy animals, the acidic content shall undergo fermentation at a higher rate, liberating high volumes than usual of gases within the rumen that shall be seen externally as the animal having extended bellies after feeding on such small amounts of freshly picked caliandra leaves. The Matungu Community Development Charity's community extension worker, Mercy, pointed out the diversity of farming practices as is exhibited on farming of Nicholas Omari's Marakalu farm, whereby not only is the farmer conscious of organic farming best practices with a total bias on farm inputs such as manures, fertilizers, or quality of seed as majority of farmers across Western Kenya do, but also pollinators such as the bees and apiculture must be given enough emphasis for farmers to hereby realize sustainable bumper harvests. Mr. Nicholas Omari has further ensured beyond 10% coverage of trees on his Marakalu farm by the establishment of a woodlot. From this woodlot, wood fuel for his domestic cooking and construction of shelter on his farm is guaranteed. In Shianda community, we have a chance to look at the project by Jemima Mai. Jemima Mai, the current chairperson for her program within Shianda community, underscored the urgency of women assuming leadership role in matters pertaining financial empowerment via the region's common source of income, which is none other but agriculture. Matungu Community Development Charity's coordinator of programs, Mr. Evans Okumu, revealed that private studies about Western region indicated that 70% of farm labor on farms were women folk who toiled most of the working day, whereas decision as to how the farm produce should be handled remained a reserve of the men folk. Mr. Okumu implored the participants present and who were drawn from the wider Mumias East constituency to rethink their negation to the traditionally unwritten principle that educating a woman is educating to all of humanity, whereas education to only men is education given to an individual. Forest expert Mr. Okalo donated the tree seedlings of species nesting such other viable organisms from our ecosystem as butterflies. Such tree species include indigenous tree species such as the Zansoxylum gilleti, a tree which, besides being a hardwood, is good foraging and nesting site for butterflies as well as medicinal. Within Matungu community, we are privileged to meet participants from the immediate neighborhood. We are invited to learn about farming of bullet pepper. The bullet pepper was intercropped with bananas, pawpaws, and many other farm crops. MCDC's Henry Alobo educated the participants on definition of climate change in the community local dialect. During the trainings of the participants at Bishop Nicholas Tam Pastoral and Administration Center, the participants were accorded a rare opportunity by the administration of this facility to add onto the woodlot of the center tree seedlings that were donated to the project by one of the participants, who is Mr. Nicholas Omari. The tree seedlings were of species 1. Casuarina and 2. Eriobotria japonica, which is locally referred to as Shipalapandi. And during the training, several facets were highlighted, out of which land as a key factor of production was highlighted, with the bias to women empowerment as a key human resource in the food security as stipulated in the International Sustainable Development Goal number 2.